my channel. You know, when I first got my Xtool metal fab, I didn't get an air compressor with it for whatever reason, but so I started learning how to use it with cutting with oxygen, and I was able to cut out all my animals for my steel gate, and I actually cut some 3/8 inch steel, and so I'm learning all the time. But I finally got my Xtool air compressor, and I'm learning that you can do so much more than what I even know about in this machine. You can cut all different kinds of metal. You can engrave. You can score metal, engrave metal, cut it obviously. But today, for the first time, we're actually going to try to do a little engraving. And I didn't even know, when I bought this thing, I didn't even really know that it could do engraving. And I've never used an engraver before. So I thought, yeah, let's go into Xtool Studio and see how easy it is. And we'll go ahead and engrave something today and see how it works. Let's get started. Okay, here we are in Xtool Metal Fab, and there you can see the camera has located my piece of metal already. So we're gonna do a new project today, and I'm gonna show you how to do an engraving. And we're going to actually I'm gonna import a plaque SVG that I drew. So here's the plaque SVG I drew. Now, let's see see, I drew this in Vectric. It's just easier for me to draw in Vectric. Even though if you go over here to elements and projects and lines, it's got a lot of stuff you could do, but I'm just not as familiar with it and I can draw this really easy. So right here, we've got our template. Let's move it down a little bit just to utilize the space a little better. Now what we want to do is we want to put some text on here. So we're going to go ahead and get some text. We're going to just find the middle somewhere in here. Let's say right there. Let's try this one. Okay, so we're going to write no longer. Let's make sure in cap lock. Put our cap locks on. No longer by my side. So that's going to go on the top. So let's see how we're going to fit this in here. No longer. We'll go ahead and put it like that. And yeah, that's okay right there, but now we want to go down pretty far, and we want to write, so the top's no longer by my side, forever in my heart on the bottom. So forever in my heart. Okay, now let's see. I actually don't like that. I don't like that font. I need something that's a little more. I'm looking for something script, but not. I don't want it like a busy script. I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay. Okay, now we need to shrink this down to fit on this plaque. So basically, we want it pretty high right there. That says it's in the center. Now, let's zoom in on this. Now, can you spread it out sideways? No. So it dimensionally needs to stay like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I need to put this back like that. There we go. Now I can basically move this down a little more, and I can shrink it just a little bit, because we need room to put the dog in there. And okay, that's looking pretty good right there. Okay, here we are. Now here's the little dog. I'm going to try to make this as big as possible before we start processing this. So here you can see I've got the text, I've got the outside, and I've got the little dog. So we want to make this little dog as big as possible without intruding on the letters here. And put them right in the middle. Okay, so that's all there is to this. Now, hopefully these letters come out good. I have done another one that I just didn't like the way the letters are. Okay, so the Xtool's metal fab's ready. Now what we want to do is come over here. We're going to click on engraving and cutting. So we're doing a combined processing. So we're going to click there. Now we're going to do 1 millimeter stainless steel and hit apply. Let me show you how easy this is. So we got the air compressor. We're going to just verify that. Go ahead and confirm. Now it's calling for a 2 millimeter nozzle. So if you see right here, you need to make sure you have a 2 millimeter nozzle on. Confirm. Now we're going to go ahead. Let's calibrate the sensor. And we'll go ahead and click on the middle of it. And it's going to, basically the machine's going to move over there and make sure nothing is in its way. And so we've got 3 things actually going on here. We're going to be doing a combination of engraving, scoring, and then cutting. So we're only going to have to change one thing. And so the first thing we're going to do is, this is the engrave, or I'm sorry, this is the score. So right there it says score, and you can see gas pressure is up to 180, 108 right now, but it's only calling for 58. So I'm going to go out there and actually change the gas or the air pressure down to right around 60, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've lowered the gas or the air pressure. It should reduce on its own. So you go right down your list. So we've already calibrated. We're on score. The air compressor, we put the air compressor down to 60, and that's it for that one. Now let's click on this other one. This is the engraved one, and this is going to be the same PSI and the same thing. So this one will process at the same time. So now what we need to do is click on the cut feature. This is going to be the cut one. And then this one we're going to end up upping the pressure because it's going to call for 87 psi. And it's also going to call for a different output as far as the focal length. So we're going to go ahead and click on the score is going to be the first one. So we're going to go ahead and hit process. And right here you can tell, it tells me that the focal length needs to be -7. Now we're going to preview this. And you can see it does the number right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make sure that focal length's at 7 before we hit start. Okay, we've set the focal length on start. Now, one thing we need to do is we need to get a GoPro into that area. So hold on, I'm going to put a GoPro in the cutting area. Okay, everything's set for scoring and engraving. So let's go ahead and hit start. And all we have to do is go out there and push the button. that's a, I don't know if you can see it, but the letters actually came out a lot better this time. I think there's a lot of ways you can make these darker in the engravings, but this came out really nice. I'm gonna go give it to my wife because that was her dog that she lost a long time ago. And yeah, anyway, Xtool Metal Fab is more than just a cutter. You could do it great. You could just do so much stuff with it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the video, and please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can, and he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do.